Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. Have I got a great video for you guys today. Today's video actually was based off a comment of a suggestion on what do you think would happen if the conflict in Ukraine and Russia came to an end. And a lot of that is based off of the peace talks that just happened a week ago. I think it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but I'm going to give my opinion on how that could affect gold and silver. It's probably not going to be the same as what other people will say, because generally political turmoil, it kind of makes people want to go to safe haven assets. However, I believe there's more at stake right now, so I don't know if it's going to have the same effect. In fact, I don't think it will have the same effect that most people will say. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a great comment. I'm really looking forward to talking about this. And if you enjoyed today's video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me, help me out, and leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. You can just say up or down, And if you're a member of the channel, thank you so much for helping support the channel. I can't thank you all enough. So with that being said, let's jump in and discuss this. So obviously, a lot of people know what's going on. Everybody's heard about it. The whole China coming out and saying we have no limits on the amount of help that we're prepared to give Russia. So obviously that gives Russia a little bit of security, I guess you can say. And then you have the U.S. and a lot of other countries wanting to see this come to an end. I mean, this has been going on for a while now. And when it started, right off the bat, we saw gold and silver really jump. That really started the climb. And a lot of people will associate any kind of political turmoil, political unrest, any kind of uncertainty. All those things fuel silver and gold, specifically gold, but then silver gets kind of pulled along in the current. And I think it's interesting because right now, even if a peace talk is negotiated and it blows over and it comes to an end, I think the problems now are too great and there's too much stuff going on behind the scenes that we're not really hearing about. The whole audit the Fed, the whole gold issue in London, and just a lot of stuff that leads to precious metals going higher. I think the genie is out of the bottle. When you look at what happened with Russia's assets getting frozen and then later confiscated and then later pretty well used for the opposite side, the opposition, I think that painted a picture of the weaponization of the dollar. I mean, if there was ever any uncertainty, it was pretty clear in what happened. And I've always said, I think that's going to go down as one of the major turning points for the US dollar. But there's a lot of other stuff too going on besides that issue that kind of could push silver in a higher direction. The whole audit the Fed and Fort Knox and just all the audits going on, it's raising a lot of uncertainty. You have the Doge team that's doing a great job finding essentially wasted money, trying to cut costs, trying to cut spending, looking for ways to kind of save the country money. But then when you hear things, and I'm not going to lie, I had someone ask me, dude, why would you want a what do they call it, a refund check over the whole Doge team? We overpaid and now they want to maybe give that money back to us. Truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, if we get it, I'm certainly not going to turn it down, because I know that if you take the money, you can put that money to something better than they will. If you don't take it, they're just going to waste it on some other stupid thing. And once you realize that, then you take the money and hopefully you're wise enough to do something good with that money. Hopefully you're going to maybe pay down your debt. Maybe you're going to add to your stack. Maybe you're going to invest it in something. And prices are going up. And I think there's no way around the inflation. The inflation is starting to tick higher. Now there's a lot of talk of stagflation, which is a whole nother issue. And I think people are going to start to realize eventually that silver is going to go along for the ride. And gold is leading the way. and gold is continuing to go higher and higher. Let's take a brief look real quick at the price of gold and the price of silver. Taking a look at gold right now, gold is at $29.33, and I'll be honest, it's pretty well stabilized in the $2,900 range, which could be solidifying a new floor. There are a few things that I think could bring silver down, and I'll talk about them a little bit towards the end. But as of right now, gold is looking good still. I mean, it's down 20 bucks, but that's nothing to me. I don't think that's a big deal. As long as we're over 2,900, I think it's great. And would I like to see it go under 29? It really doesn't bother me because I'll end up picking a little bit more. You guys know it's tax time. A lot of us are getting our returns, and you look at what's going on, and it's a buying opportunity still for precious metals, in my opinion. Taking a quick look at silver, silver is sitting at 32.20, basically 32.19, still hovering around the $32 range, which is good. I think it's stable, even though we're seeing, huge volatility. We're seeing drops and we're seeing jumps real quick right after. I think that has a lot to do with manipulation, paper contracts getting pushed on, and then metals getting pulled off. And I think as that continues, it's great to me. And even if it goes lower, I'm seeing it dip right now, and it kind of made me smile a little bit because it is an opportunity, and I think it's going to stay an opportunity. In my opinion, I was started to look at Bitcoin. Some of y'all have been following cryptos. Some of y'all have been following Bitcoin. Bitcoin's sitting around 90,000 now. A lot of that came down to they claim the recent hack that happened, I guess, in Dubai or something. And that hack really put some uncertainty into people. And, I've said this before. I mean, even if Bitcoin itself can't be hacked, even if it's just the exchanges that can be hacked, there's still a vulnerability, and when that happens, I know some people are going to say if they had had their own cold storage wallet, then their stuff wouldn't have been hacked. So it's the companies that are holding your crypto. Kind of like if Robinhood was to get hacked, they hold a lot of crypto. Would it affect the people? I don't know how that would play out because they are an institution. I don't know how that even played out with the hack over in Dubai. Will the people get refunded for that? Who knows? That is not my concern at this point because I'm not a big Bitcoin fan. If you guys want to see a video on that, let me know and I'll do a video on that. But I'm kind of against Bitcoin and I'm against cryptos, even though I'll be honest, lately I have been starting to watch different cryptos because I think some of them have dipped pretty good. And I think that if Bitcoin crashes or takes a huge hit, it's going to take a lot of these little things like Dogecoin out, Shiba out. And when I say out, I mean down. It's never going to go away for a while. I think, there's always going to be holdouts in Bitcoin, Shiba, Doge, and different cryptocurrencies. So we'll see how that plays out. I was actually checking out the Shiba because you guys know I sold all my position and I repositioned all my investment into gold and silver now. So I foresee that gold and silver is going to continue to go higher. Now, none of this is financial advice. This is just my opinion. I don't have a crystal ball to say, oh, it's going to keep going higher. But you can look at what's going on and say there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of stuff going on that will push gold and silver in a higher direction. Now, the question comes up, what will bring gold and silver down? So one of the things that I do worry about, obviously stagflation could be an issue, but really the economy just taking a devastating blow. Now, some of y'all may have been following what happened the last few days in the stock market. We didn't see much today. We saw the NASDAQ get hit today, but Thursday and Friday we had devastating hits on the NASDAQ and the Dow. One of them being the worst one day this year. And so when you start seeing that, you start to wonder, well, are we about ready to see that big correction in the stock market that a lot of people have been talking about? In fact, last year, a lot of people were talking that we were due for a big hit in the stock market. And my thoughts, I'll be honest, where, eventually it is going to come. Did it get pushed back a little bit? Yeah, usually election years are rough. We didn't see a devastating blow. And I think we could be seeing one coming up at some point, and therefore that could bring gold and silver down. However, if you don't have any gold and silver, if you've been on the sidelines waiting for the big dip, I would be very cautious. And because if we don't see a dip and we continue to see things get out of hand, I had someone leave me a comment the other day. They don't really foresee the possibility of us ever having to barter silver in the street. But as prices of silver and gold go higher, fractional stuff does become more valuable because look at the premiums. I mean, take a look at a premium on a 1/10 ounce gold coin versus a 1 ounce gold coin. I mean, when I can find 1/10 ounce gold coins, they're usually high premiums. And I know I say when I can find, I mean, anybody can go out and find one right now. It's not like there's no 1/10 ounce gold coins out there for sale. The question is, how big is the premium going to be? And if you're paying a 25% premium, that's hard to recover. That means that you need to see gold go from essentially, we're going to say $3,000 to roughly $3,750 before you break even on that premium. Now, here's the one thing that I've always noticed, and the premiums, just when you pay a premium, a lot of times you can pull that premium back if you go to sell it. Because let's be honest, how many people can find a 1/10 ounce gold coin right now for $300, we'll say? I can't find one anywhere. $315 is still tough. $325, I can find them once in a while at $325 for a 1/10 ounce. However, them are getting harder and harder to find. Now I think the average on them is running, $340, $335. So the premiums, if someone really wants one, they're going to pay the premium. And a lot of people don't have money to buy a full 1 ounce gold coin. So, the cat's out of the bag, the genie's out of the bottle, whatever you want to call it. Gold and silver is continuing to climb higher. It's kind of funny because as I'm doing this video, I'm looking at the chart. What you're looking at is what I'm looking at right now, and I'm seeing it dip. But at the end of the day, it doesn't bother me because those dips are buying opportunities. And, how often do you really see good opportunities? I had someone tell me the other day he likes gambling on the, basically betting on the dips. And I'm the same way. If I see a good enough dip, I'm prepared to pull the trigger on a bigger order. But I'm looking for opportunity. And, I don't keep as much cash on the sidelines like some people say you should. You should keep so much dry powder. I'm more of one of them people that I'd rather just, invest and put it in there. And like I said, this is not investing advice, but I do tell you guys what I invest in. And so we'll see how this plays out. I think it's definitely going to be interesting. I do hope everything in Russia and Ukraine settle down and come to an end. I mean, I hate seeing anybody having hard times. I had someone tell me one day, ain't this really good though for us? And I said, I mean, I guess to a certain point, yes, it is good for precious metals, but obviously I don't want to make money at the cost of someone else. And I know some people out there might say, well, technically anytime you make money, somebody else lost money. And that is true. But losing money and losing life, I mean, to me is a big difference. A lot of times the people that are gambling on a lot of different investments, and let's be honest, if you're investing to a certain point, you are gambling. I know some people will say it's not a gamble if you're investing in precious metals. I mean, if you buy on a spike and all of a sudden we see a little bit of a dip, well, I mean, you kind of missed out. You bet wrong, essentially. But as a long run, you're probably going to be in the right because precious metals, like I've said, continue to climb higher and higher in price. And these little short-term dips like you're seeing, and it looks devastating right here. It looks like, it fell off a rock. But I don't know how far this will let me squish it in there. Well, it's not going to let me too much because it looks bad on this scale. But as I come down and I show you guys a 30-day chart, cut out the noise, cut out the, the daily bumps and bruises, and you're seeing it go higher. That's a 30-day chart right there. It's higher. Take a look at your 60-day chart. It's higher. Your 6-month chart, higher. 1-year chart, higher. And it's not just with silver. It's with gold, too. In fact, someone told me they're like, right now, gold's doing better this year than silver. And they're not wrong. Gold is doing better right now. But you have to remember, silver usually follows. It doesn't lead. And why is that? Because the big money, who do you think knows more about what's going on? The small money like me and you, or the big money like the people at the Fed and stuff? It's the big money. And the big money is pushing their money into gold. And that's having a big impact on gold. And gold will start pulling up. Once the junior money, the smaller hands start realizing, man, this is getting ugly, things are going to get a whole lot worse, then they push their money into silver. Why? Because a lot of people can't afford gold at $3,000 for one coin. And once you realize that, you understand, it has more potential to go a whole lot higher. Because there's a lot of big money out there that hasn't got into precious metals yet. More and more people are becoming aware of what's going on because of everything going on. You hear stuff in the news, you see it. Every time gold pushes through another milestone, and here it is. Once we break through the $3,000 and hang out there overnight or a couple nights or a week, you can expect more people are going to look at it and be like, dude, how did we not see this run? How did we not see that it was continuing to climb up? Short term, could we see a dip? Of course. Long term, I couldn't be happier with gold or silver. I talk more about silver, yes. I invest more in silver. I have more silver than I have gold, obviously. I think that's most stackers. Although I have talked to some stackers that are doing like 10 to 1. And I think that's extremely high. If you want to say your opinion below, I urge you to put your opinion in. Do you think 10 to 1 ratio, 50 to 1 ratio, 100 to 1 ratio? It doesn't mean you have to follow the actual gold-silver ratio. But when silver is severely undervalued, I like silver better. When gold is undervalued, then I would rather go with gold. How do I judge that? I judge that off the gold-silver ratio. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button if you didn't hit it yet. A lot of times people watch the video and they'll forget. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Check out some of these other great videos. I post videos every day, so there's a lot of stuff, a lot of content to watch, and a lot of great videos. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have a question. Post your question in the comments. It may be the next video that I make. So check that out. And if you're not just into silver, hey, maybe check out some of these other great videos. I've got package openings, got cooking, got prepping, got homesteading, coin roll hunting, cooking, all kinds of different stuff. So a lot of great content. And check out one of these other 3 videos that we're showing right now on the screen. Take care, everybody, and have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.